Hi everyone, welcome to my preview of Menangle, Friday the 20th of March. Looks like a nice 8-race program there. I'm pretty confident on a couple of horses, and there's a couple of races I'm not so confident on, so let's get stuck straight into it. Race 1, number 5, I'm Supersonic. Flies out of the gate, this one will be leading. It's one of those horses, if you're a Betfair player, it's a great back to lay horse here. It'll be definitely leading and you'll be able to lay it shorter. Last week it flew out from barrier 10. It was kicked away in the home turn, but first up from a spell, just the condition gave out. I really expected to give a bit more this week, and there looks only one danger for mine, so I think Lauren will get this one over to the pegs very quickly, and as long as she can either kick away or hold it up, one or the other, I think it's going to be very hard to beat, and you know, if you have this with the savour of number 1, I think you'll go away with the winner in the first race. Number 1, Glenferrie Hood. I've said this many times, it's a much better sit sprinter than it is leader. It led 3 starts ago and managed to win. Last time it led, could only hold on for third. If you go back to September of last year, its best run ever for mine was when it sat on the pace of another Triton runner, Salty Legend, which is better horse than I'm Supersonic. Sat on the back of Salty Legend and down the home straight, it just gave it a cold. I think it's a much better sit sprinter, and it's a huge chance you can get $4.40 or something out there at the moment. For mine, the winner comes out of those two. For third, Magic Bliss finally found form. This horse, it's a bit enigmatic, but once it's found form, you can't really deny it. Very good win 2 starts ago at Menangle, and then went to Goulburn and flew down the outside in a 2,800 metre race, beat a handy field. If there's any war up front, this thing will be coming home very hard, but I think third's its best chance here tonight. They look a clear top 3. Number 8, Ocean Diva, going very well. It's had four placings from its last 4 starts since resuming. The change to James Ponsonby doesn't really help, I don't think. It can definitely fly home for 4th, but I don't think it can win. Snap to it, just can't break the MO duck, and it's not going to from barrier 9 tonight. Diva's Delight went around favoured in the race at Goulburn. Ran a pretty good third, but again drawn barrier 10. And Hero Home and I'm Alex can probably run on for top 4 at their best, but for mine I'm very confident the winner will come from either 5 or 1. We go to race 2, and this was a great thing beaten last week. I'm a Gucci girl. You know, it's 1-2 in a row. It drew barrier 1 last week. It still hasn't got out. Barrier 5, it'll suit it much more this time. This is a very tough race, mind you, and it needs to step up again, but it's absolutely airborne, and as long as it hasn't forgotten how to win after being boxed in last week, it's going to give you a huge sight. Number 8, ZENABLE, absolutely flying this horse. Third behind Alta Jerome and bit of a legend last time. That's huge form for this one. It's a sit sprinter as well. So, you know, there mightn't be too much speed in this race. So one of these sit sprinters I'm hoping will get home. Number 10, Tact HAYLEYS Delight, another horse that absolutely is flying. It's won 3 of its last 4. It came home in under 55 seconds last week. It's going to be at the back again, probably here, and Binskin's on board this time. I don't know if that's a plus or negative, but not many mares going better than this one in Sydney at the moment. 9, Majorly Foxy STYX is an interesting runner. Won a good race at Melton 3 starts ago. Then it led when 5th behind Metro Mike, which is good form. Last time in the Adore Me race, it just, you know, something happened to it. I don't know whether it got a heart attack chasing Adore Me or not, but something went wrong there. It's come out since and trial pretty well. It could be the speed in the race here. It could get to the lead, it or GLENFERRIE, and definitely a chance. GLENFERRIE going very well, but this is a pretty hot race. Par's Ultimate Delight's come up favourite on the pre-post markets. I can't find it in my top 4 here. It's another sit sprinter. Down in class, yes, but geez, it's going to have to, you know, they need some speed on these horses, and I'm not sure that it's going as well as it has. Empire's Sister can probably lead and hold up if it wants to, sorry. But it's suicidal if it does, because it can't win the race. Very good race this, 5, 8, 10 and 9. Come to race 3. This horse was amazing on Into Dominion Day. Obviously, it was a fast track that day, but it won in 150.8 or 9 or something in the death seat. Nat Rass was on board that day. The change back to Hancock, you know, it's probably not a plus, but it's down in class today. It's drawn the car park here. It needs to get around to the chair pretty cheaply, but if it does, if it goes on last week's run, it just wins this race. It's way down in class, and it looks a pretty good bet as long as it gets to the chair pretty cheaply. Number 8, Magic Oats, an interesting performer from New Zealand. It's won its last 2 there. Last win there, it sat behind 3 pegs and got the run. I'm told it's had a little bit of injury problems, this horse, so it may need a run or 2 here at Menangle, but it's definitely the second pick. Number 3, Roger Ramjet, went through the Strong Tontine series down there, and Came to Menangle last week and was pretty plain when 5th to Miss Artistic Tara. Admittedly, that horse is going well, but to only run 5th in a 1-1 or 1x2 trail, it really didn't run on it. It needs to improve tonight. 6 to BLUEJEAN going well around Newcastle. I think it's won 4 or 5 from 7. Tritton's had it and it's going very well and it's flying around there, but this is a different story here at Menangle tonight. Modern Dancer went well last time, went 2nd behind the leader. Got out late. 7 Dreams, another run on horse, but just pulls its head off. It's just too hard a horse to back. And 4-star special, won 3 starts ago in slow time, and it really hasn't done much since. But for mine, I've got a life. It only has to run 90% as good as it did on Instant Minion Day, and it wins. Come to race 4, and I'm pretty keen on this one tonight. I'm the agent. It's got 3 placings out of its last 3 starts. It looked like it was going to beat JEROSH a couple of starts ago, and even if you have a look at the camera angle, if you have a look at the replay there, it looks like it did beat it, but it didn't. Last start was 3rd to Bold Life and Mr. Bling. That's pretty good form for this. I think it'll take its time to balance up. It'll get to the death seat, and if it's ever going to break through tonight, I think tonight's the night. I'm the agent. For number 9, JEROSH, going very well. You know a horse is going well when it can win with Noel Hatcher on board, so I think it can get across and lead. Very good win 2 starts ago, and then last start it stepped up in class and he got beat 3 or 4 metres behind Cracker Heine after leading, which was a pretty good form race, that one. Number 3, Freedom Is for 3rd. It was favourite at Goulburn last start, but I just don't know if it's forgotten how to win this horse. It's had its chances. And number 6, Blissful Guy for 4th. It won pretty well 2 starts ago, and then last time just something happened and it dropped out for last, but I think the top 3 are clear here. Crackerjack Joe's come up very short on pre-post markets. This horse has had 9 starts at Menangle without a win, and I don't want to be taking 3 or 4 to 1 about a horse that's got that form. I'd much rather have something that's in form and runs well here. Simply Gorgeous has won 7 races or something like that, but it's better suited back to the provincials. For mine, I'm pretty keen on number 7 on the agent tonight. We go to race 5. It's the fast class race, and ENTEO broke the clock coming from last start. It was just a horrible drive. They left Better Bet Black alone, and it ran a 31.6 quarter or something like that, which is ridiculous for this class of race. ENTEO could show a bit more gate speed tonight and get closer, and as long as it backs up that run, probably wins tonight. The big improver here tonight is GAIUS Caesar. It's been going pretty well. Penella steps on board, and she's won a Group 1 with this horse. It just goes miles better for her. If you watch its replay last start in the same race, it was flying home very late for 7th. Wasn't beaten too far, and quick sectionals. It'll settle a lot closer tonight, and it's definitely a knockout chance at double figure odds. Number 6, MONIFEITH. Good win 3 starts ago in a decent race over a mile. Ran 3rd in the Inter-Dominion heats, and then went out in the final and couldn't do anything, but that's expected. Back to this type of class of race. This sit sprinter, if it gets a nice run, can definitely do something. 8 Common Frank's a lot better than its last run looked. For some reason, Billinger just wanted to let Better Bet Black get away with murder last time. It's not a sprinter, Common Frank. It's a grinder. It needs to get to the death seat and grind away, and a 31.6 quarter is not the right thing for it. So expect it to work forward again to the death seat, and this time there won't be any 31.6 quarters. I think it'll give it to Better Bet Black out in the lead. Obviously, number 1, Better Bet Black is your leader here. It went good last start. It flew home, but it only had to run 400 metres last start, and I think there'll be a lot more pressure tonight. Mark Alert, who knows what goes on with it. The tactics are different every week. You just got no idea where it's going to be in the run. Freiburg going very well. Good first 4 chance. Bit of a legend. I've sacked it now. I just don't think it's going any good at the moment. I think it's had enough, and it needs a spell for mine. Godsend, good run last week when sitting behind the leader. We'll head for the pegs again here, but it's probably a 100 to 1 chance. We go to race 6, and I didn't actually price this race, so I'm just going to tip here. Number 1, Global View. As long as it's not on the pegs, if it can get off the pegs, it looks immoral in this race for mine. Its last 2 starts have been fantastic wins. It's down in class here. It can, if it can either lead, or if it can't lead here, get off the pegs and get to the death seat. I think it's just too good. As you probably know, I own number 5, Major Escape. He's second up from a little bit of an injury. He was huge last week when just right out the back, and it was a pretty ordinary drive actually. If Morris had stayed on the back of Cracker Heine, he might have finished a lot closer than 4th. He'll probably be a bit fitter come after this run, but he's drawn well. He's got a little bit of gate speed, and he looks a definite each way chance tonight, my boy. Number 10, ARMA Legend. He'll be out the back and flying home late. The mile doesn't suit him, but geez, he gets home hard, and he'll give you a good run for your money very late. And number 4, Ahoka Utah comes to town for the first time for Tritton. Great gate speed. It might cross the 1 here at the start. That's the only danger for the 1. But it needs to improve again to win this race, the old boy. Blue Pointer probably an each way chance, as is Dealer and Stun and Banner, but for mine, as long as Global View doesn't get bailed up on the pegs, it looks a very good bet. Come to race 7, and this is the hardest race of the night for mine, because number 6, Courage to Rule, its form reads something like 98388, and I've got it on top. It just looks to get the easy lead. It's got the gate speed here, but is it in form? Who knows? This is a lot easier than it's been meeting, and there was a few starts back it ran 151. It only has to run 2 seconds quicker than that to probably win tonight, because there doesn't look to be any pressure. Mark Dennis might go to the chair here. Elchin's got it now. It's had a lot of trainers, this horse. It was okay last week, went 5th and just plodding away, but in the better black race, probably doesn't have to do too much more to win here. 3 CONDAGEN, it's one of those horses that says back me next time but never wins. It's 3rd, 2 starts ago here, was pretty good, been running on as per usual, and then it went to Young and was 6 behind Frith. The track probably doesn't suit it as much there. Menangle, it needs a bit of pace on, but it's definitely a chance. El Rama's going pretty well. It's around 3rd or 4th at its last 5 starts and can run on for a place again. Western Rockstar will get to maybe to the death seat and can plod along again, but it's had 19 starts this season without a win. Hard to back it. McTavish will run on pretty well. Alchemy's had 13 starts at the track without winning. It's a very tough race if you're going to have a bet race 7. There's probably other races betted over bet. We come to the last, and I just had a look at some early markets, and I can't believe that 750 was available at one stage about Duchess Ella. I got it a clear-cut favourite. It's run 2nd behind Maritime and 2nd behind Cloudy's Princess. Its last 2 starts. Both those horses will be very short in this race. That's huge form. It's got good gate speed. It loves Menangle. Can either get across and lead from that barrier or get right into a good position. And geez, it looks like a pretty good thing, I think, Duchess Ella tonight, if it can continue the form. Jimmy Douglas got the drive, interestingly enough. If you can get those $4 odds that are still out there at the moment, I think a good price. 8th on Thunder Road. 2 starts ago won a really good race here, 2,300 metre race, and then last start was 4th in the Group 1 behind, I think it was Vinted Avenger. That's huge form for a race like this. Only problem with this horse is it gets right out the back and it'll be running on hard. The mile doesn't really suit it, but geez, if they go hard up front, this one will be finishing it off, and there's double figure odds about this one, is big odds. Number 5, Edge Hill, Flying. It's won 3 from 4 on a Tuesday class. Last time in 156. Another horse that doesn't have great gate speed though, and it'll be weaving through the field late. Gavin hops on board, which is not a great plus for those that know my thoughts. And number 6, Sir Donaldson. 3rd up tonight in Australia. First up it was pretty plain. Last week it went straight to the lead from the tapes over the 2300 and won very easy. Got good gate speed obviously, and it might be the one trying to hold out the 9 here at the start. And but the mile may not suit it, I'm not sure, but this is a pretty high class trotters race. I'm leaving out horses like number 2, Bad Habit, which can do things wrong but can go very well, and number 11, Hour Over and Over, just not sure from the back line there over the mile. Glenferrie Dream is going no good, but I think number 9, for those that took the 750s, are going to be travelling pretty well. Even the 4 Ford 50 that's out there now is pretty good. We come to the quaddie. Numbers 4, 5, 6, 7 in the first leg. The second leg 1 and 5, the third leg 2, 3, 5, 6 and 7, and coming home with 5, 6, 8 and 9, and $80 will get you half a unit. Thanks, and go to racebook.com for some more info there and my best bet. That's racebk.com. Thanks and have a good night.